Hello, my name is Milen Hristov and I am the owner of MH Legal Law Office. We are based in Varna and we work in Varna and Black Sea area as a general. So today I'm going to explain some basic things of the consequences of the property bubble that has reached also Bulgaria. I know that this has been for several years now, but the actual consequences for the pop-up of this bubble actually are visible today. Developers actually try um, to take this construction completed with actually using a loan from the banks. So and this is actually the Bulgarian developers mentality. They took the off-plan money from the buyers, but actually didn't use it in the construction, but for funding other developments. So this is quite a circle that it's not it was not meant to be, but it actually happened because during the property bubble, many developers, they were not developers before that, so they didn't have any experience with construction. So they didn't know what to do. They hired a lot of unprofessional engineers and architects, and they were not able to manage their funds and finances, and therefore this is what we end up with. This is the unfinished developments. A lot of buyers have unfinished apartments, although they have paid all their installments, but this is the way it went here. So what happened? The buyers were very keen to get what they have paid for. Therefore, they started to communicate with the developers, which caused actually the developers a lot of troubles, since they were not used to communicate with buyers. They were using, remember, they were using this middleman, this English UK companies that were middlemen. So the buyers were communicating with the middleman. But since a lot of the middlemen in the UK just disappeared, the buyers had to communicate directly with the developers. And as I said, the developers, they're not used to that communication. So this caused a lot of troubles. And this led to the belief that actually the developers they're just they're committing a fraud, because they don't communicate, they don't want to return any money, they don't want to transfer any finished properties, they don't communicate in any manner. That's why MH Legal Law Office comes into place, because we are tracking actually the developers, and we are making individual meetings with them, and this way we try to renew the communication, because in certain cases there is a quite miscommunication. The buyer thinks of something, but the developers thinks of something completely different, and actually the two parties cannot reach any point of agreement about whether a refund is issued by the developer or the completed property is transferred to the buyer. Therefore, we come in place. We try to negotiate on buyer's behalf and try to either get the developer issue a refund, or either actually if the property is completed, is finished, then we get the developer to transfer the completed property, to transfer the ownership of the completed property to the buyer. The problem, as pointed out before, is actually the payment scheme. This is the practice, actually the payments were made through this UK middleman. So this is the problem if things just are forced, and the buyer needs to claim a refund in the court, in the Bulgarian court. So the problem with the payments is like this. Actually, the buyer pays to the UK middleman. The middleman forwards the funds to the Bulgarian developer. So let me tell you why this is bad, and why if you buy by any chance any other property in Bulgaria, just pay directly to the developer. So the problem is that in UK payment by checks is rather common, while it's not in Bulgaria, because the checks, although they're regulated in the Bulgarian laws, they're not used in practice. Therefore, there is no practice in court regarding checks, and this is difficult for the judges to understand how actually the check works in practice, and this makes our lawyers work harder, because we need to convince and we need to actually tell the judges how the check works in practice. On the other side, the Bulgarian judges, they prefer to see a direct payments. This means judges like to see a bank statement in which there is the payment shown, the date, the beneficiary, and the reference for this payment. The reference means what are you paying for. This means in the reference, when you pay for installments for buying a property, you should put installment for buying of apartment, some apartment, and the judges expect to see a beneficiary, like the developer, and the one who actually orders the payment, in that case the buyer.